Good morning, friends, and welcome back. I'm Dr. Larry Mitnaul, and I'm excited to talk with you this morning about some ideas for helping our teens kind of grapple and move through in a positive way this COVID-19 epidemic. But before we do that, don't forget to like and subscribe below. When you do that, it helps us to reach more families. Ready? Let's get started. So number one, let's acknowledge with them, right, that this is a really tough time, and there's still maybe kids who are kind of struggling with both grief and disappointment at the change in their school year, right? And again, that's really understandable. They were looking forward to concerts, they were looking forward to, dances or graduations. I mean, really great formative experiences in the life of kids that have been kind of waylaid by all of this transition and with the world kind of closing down a little bit in the effort to support health and healing for all. And so recognizing that and helping them to understand, hey, that's valid, and I can understand your disappointment or sadness as a result of that can be really helpful in helping teens to feel heard or understood. And yet acknowledgement isn't the same as, perseverating on it, sitting with it, stewing over it, and making, COVID-19 be the excuse for everything in life, or the summary of everything that's wrong about the world. So one, we want to acknowledge, but not give over to it in such a way that in an unhealthy cycle, our teens are dwelling on it kind of day after day, minute by minute. All right, so the second idea to help your teens with coping through this COVID-19 is going a little bit old school. I read a paper by a psychologist who encouraged for families to go back to the 80s, and I think that's exactly right, especially when we think about kind of our modes of communication, right? There probably is no other generation more primed to connect through Snapchat, TikTok, all those things, Discord. But it actually feels really good, and many teenagers probably haven't had this experience, other than maybe applications and the occasional birthday invitation when they were a little bit younger, to get real mail, physical mail. And so I'm encouraging a lot of the teens that I see to actually go back to the pad and pen and write down some of your ideas, because actually that can mean a lot, and it's really fun to actually get something in the mail. The other is, in addition to writing letters, think about the creative things that they can do using their hands, like art, or like painting or sculpting or clay work. Some of the most encouraging things that I've heard from nurses and healthcare workers on the front lines are some of the creative things that they've seen or received from really smart, enterprising young people who are encouraging them in their fight, and while they can't stay at home. So one example actually is a nurse took a picture of the entrance and exit to her hospital, and someone had done a really beautiful job of in chalk writing some encouragement to them that they were going to make it, and that they had people supporting them and looking after them and encouraging them. And so again, look for ways that our teens, or encourage them to look for ways that they can use their gifts to apply to being a positive light in spite of all of this negativity and darkness through the COVID-19 epidemic. And then lastly, another idea for teens is to employ their intelligence, actually, to also help younger minds in the world. I think that we underestimate, and probably less so now, how much work that our teachers and schools and administrators do to support our kids in their learning. And many teachers are reworking their curriculum day by day, minute by minute, to appeal to young people and keep them engaged and having them grow. But there's nobody that knows this technology, as we talked about before, better than probably the teenager that's sitting next to you or upstairs in the room, just as you're watching this. And so I think there's an opportunity here, an opportunity for our teens to make themselves, present to the school and say, hey, I only have a few hours a day to maybe dedicate, but I'd be happy to, do something cool and interactive, or teach some enrichment, course, or if a teacher is looking for an idea for a science experiment, I can maybe come up with a couple of ideas and make funny or cool, YouTube videos that the teachers could use in the school. I think there's a win on so many fronts, right? Our teachers get the benefit of maybe reconnecting with us. So if it's your elementary school teacher or middle school teacher, I'm sure they'd be excited to just hear from you. But two, it gives our teens an opportunity to do something in the service of others and help them to kind of fight back. And actually, I think often in our lives, that's the antidote to feeling, stuck or stymied or unable to really kind of flourish and being bored. Instead, when we divert that energy to being productive and being a light for others, actually we're enriched as well. And we want our teens doing that. Thank you for watching. Take good care and be well.